Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way.
Savvy as a space was founded in 2009, and it's a space run by some 15 to 20 people at any time, so mostly volunteers, but also people that carry the project on the space on project basis. We consider ourselves a critical art space. We do thematic exhibitions. We're very much interested in the socio-political. We're interested in our realities and history. We're not interested in l'art pour l'art. We are interested in art that can change the world. You know, that's our ambition. We don't want to do anything less than that. We do a lot of performances. We consider ourselves as a performance-oriented space. So we're interested in performativity, not only because of the fact that we do performances, but also in the fact that, because of the fact that we are a space constantly in the becoming. We're not done yet. We perform ourselves. We do a lot of lecture series.
The fact is that as we enter the 21st century, it has become clear enough that not one single person of African descent, wherever he or she lives, will enjoy the full dignity of afforded to human beings, whether they like it or not. Their fate in whatever part of the world they live is deeply connected to the fate of the African continent.
Like the one coming up this Saturday, the 1st of October, which will be given by Louis Gordon, who's a Fanonian. He's a specialist on Frantz Fanon, and he's going to be talking about decolonial practices. Next week as well, we'll be having another lecture by Teju Cole, the writer. So these are some of the things we do. Besides that, we are hosts to 2 archives. One is an archive called Colonial Neighbors, which was founded in 2011. If I'm not mistaken, and it's a savvy intern archive with the aim of collecting objects that narrate something about German colonial history. So the point of departure was the fact that we noticed that too few people in Germany, where we're based, know about their colonial past. It is taken for granted. People are not really interested in that. It seems it is not really part of the school curriculum. So we took it upon ourselves to do something about that. And we had to turn back and look at Edouard Glissant when he said that you cannot leave history in the hands of historians alone. So we took upon ourselves that to look at that history by contacting people, by doing a call for people to look within their families, in their attics, in their cellars, if they could find objects that narrate something about German colonial history. And so we got albums, we got diaries, stamps, and whatever. So it's not really about some kind of object fetishism. It's very much about, how those objects can narrate certain histories, also do collect like words, anecdotes in the German language that kind of reveal, or kind of betray that colonial legacy as well. So that's something we're interested in. The other archive we do have is an archive on performativity. So how to archive performances, So one way to do that is to like collect objects, remnants of performances. But the other way is to see the body as an archive of performativity itself. So looking at our presence here and the people that pass by as part of the archive of performativity. So that's something we're doing as well. We also have a pretty sophisticated documentation center called the SavvyDoc, which is a collection of mostly books, art books, but also a lot of philosophy books from all over the world. So we are interested in collecting philosophies from Europe and America, but also beyond that. So we look especially at Caribbean philosophies, African philosophies, Asian, Latin American philosophies. So, and that is why Savvy was founded, to be able to navigate that space between the West and the non-West, to be able to question those terminologies, to be able to do shows, to be able to do exhibitions, to be able to create, discursive formats that go beyond the Western rigid monodiscussional direction and formats, that gives space, projects that give space to, to influences that come from the so-called South, from the so-called non-West. But again, in so doing, questioning these terminologies. What is the South? South of what? What is the non-West? Where does the West start? Where does it end? So, just to say that we are very much interested in questioning, the kind of epistemologies that are propagated. We consider ourselves a space for diverse epistemologies, for epistemological diversity, taking knowledge, acknowledging other knowledge systems, acknowledging also the fact that through coloniality, a lot of knowledge systems around the world have been destroyed, were destroyed. So we're interested in looking at languages, that point of encounter 500 years ago, what happened? What happened after that? So we're interested in the kind of pidginization that happened after that, be it in language form, in culture form, so we want to explore those territories, without being the explorer. Yeah. So we are currently doing a film series that started, I think, 4 weeks ago, called How Does the World Breathe Now?, which is a poem by an Indonesian poet called Rendra. And in this poem, he wrote in the 60s, in the early 60s, I think 1960 actually, he kind of, he laments about the situation of the world post-World War II. He laments about the fact that despite all the conferences, despite the United Nations, despite all the goodwill, a lot of people are still facing dire straits, facing extremely difficult moments around the world. And then he posed that question, how does the world breathe now? So to me, in conceiving this project, this film series, I wanted to use Rendra as a point of departure to understand how the world breathes now. If you look around the world, the kind of difficulties people face now, look at America, look at the way people are shot on the street, even worse than you would do with chickens, So, and of course the connection to I can't breathe is very obvious, and that is what I wanted to bring across. So how does the world breathe now? Look at what is happening in Syria. Look at the situation of refugees all over Europe. Look at a Europe, that claims itself, a free continent, a democratic continent, But look at the way they would give the rights to Turkey to keep the refugees at bay. Go to Greece and see what the refugees they have to go through, but also see how fabulous Greek people with little or nothing are trying to support them, But then the countries that have so much wealth in the center of Europe, they do not want the people to come in. Look at Germany. Look at what Merkel has to deal with, because she said, "Wir schaffen das." I'm not a Merkelian, but the fact that she said, we can do it, we can make it, it caused so much difficulties for her in this country. Look at the rise in the right, the shift towards fascism in Hungary, in Poland, in Germany, in Denmark, in France. Look at that. So how does the world breathe now? So really the series was about getting a couple of people, friends and friends to be, to come together, to choose films that they actually consider captured the zeitgeist, that captured the socio-political, economic realities of the times when the films were made, So in the course of time, we've had Danny Gall, who showed 2 films by David Koff. We've had Candice Bright. We've had Maria Teresa Alves, and more to come. So we're working towards that.